Hi, this is my Week 6 progress report, the final week of this project. This week, I focused on 5 major areas: a complete audio system with background music and sound effects, a visible countdown timer, a critical game design fix to prevent passive winning, full character and enemy stat differentiation for balanced difficulty, and a clean restart flow when the player completes the final level. At the end, I'll demonstrate the whole game by playing through every scenario in detail. Let me start with how I built the audio system, because picking the right sound was actually a meaningful part of this week's work. For the sound effects, I went through several free sound effects libraries online, sites like Freesound. I downloaded around 17 candidate sounds and tried different combinations to find ones that match each character and enemy. For example, the laser style sound worked well for my magical looking towers, while the bonk and whoosh sound fit the more physical enemies. It took some trial and error to find effects that don't feel generic. For the background music, I was much more deliberate. I knew I wanted something that captures the spirit of Plants vs Zombies, but doesn't feel like a direct copy. After spending a lot of time searching through different remixes, I finally found a Crazy Dave theme remake that uses bamboo-style instrumentation mixed with the classic zombie melody. It has the unique East meets West feel that I really liked, and it loops well without becoming annoying, so I picked it as the BGM for the whole game. Now the implementation. OpenPlayer.gd. On line 15, I added add export var value audio stream player 2D. And inside start attack on line 50, I call audio play. The same pattern is in enemy.gd on line 14. And 47. Each player and enemy scene had its own audio stream player 2D node assigned to that variable, so every character has a unique attack sound. For the BGM, I added a node called 主题曲 to word.tscn with the Crazy Dave remix as its stream. Autoplay enabled and looping enabled in the import settings. For the victory sound in On-Level Victory in line 111, I call 游戏胜利2 play, which plays the iconic victory jingle when the level is cleared. I also added Smart BGM control on line 110. When a level is won, I set 主题曲 stream pause equals to true to pause the BGM so the victory jingle plays clearly without overlap. Same thing on line 121 when the level is lost. When the player clicks next level in line 132, sets stream paused equals to false to resume the BGM from where it left off, not from the beginning, so the music feels continuous across the whole game session, only muted briefly during transitions. I added a visible countdown timer this week so players know how long they need to survive. In world.tscn, I added a label node called 倒计时. In world.gd lines 90 to 95, every frame I calculated the remaining time. Update the label text and change its color to red when 10 seconds or less remain. This adds tension at the end of each level and helps players make strategic decisions about whether to defend aggressively or hold position. Now, the most important fix this week. While playtesting, I discovered a serious flaw. A player could win simply by hiding all their towers in the back and waiting 60 seconds, never engaging in combat at all. This made the game pointless. The fix is in enemy.gd on line 31. When an enemy walks past x equals to minus 400, which represents the player space, instead of just calling quick free to remove it. I now also call getParent on level defeat. The getParent returns the world node because every enemy is a child of world. The result, Any enemy that gets past all the players' towers and reaches the base immediately ends the game in defeat. This focuses the player to actively defend instead of passively waiting. I differentiated all character and enemy stats this week using exported variables. Let me show you. Here's player 1, a rapid fire tower with low cooldown. And here's player 2, a heavy hitter with much higher damage but slower attacks. And player 4 is a tank with 200 HP. The 8 enemy types are similarly diverse. Here's enemy 1, the standard enemy, and here's enemy 8, the boss enemy with 250 HP and 30 damage. All stats are turned per scene in the inspector, no script changes needed. Level 1 only has weak enemies for tutorial. Level 2 introduces armored and elite types, and Level 3 throws in everything including the boss. Finally, I implemented a clean game completion flow. In on-level victory line 115 to 116, when the player wins the final level, I change the next level button to 重新开始. It means start again. Then in on 下一关 pressed, this triggers get tree reload current scene to restart the entire game from level 1. Now let's still play a little bit to show you the full game. As soon as the game launches, you can hear the Crazy Dave BGM start playing. The 5-player towers spawn at random grid positions, and the countdown timer shows 60 in the corner. Enemies start spawning from the right every 3 seconds. When an enemy enters a tower's range, the tower fires with its unique sound effects. I can pick up any tower and drag it to a new position. The grid snaps it to the nearest free spot. When an enemy reaches a tower, it stops and attacks with its own sound effect. The tower takes damage but keeps firing. Time's up, the BGM pauses, the victory jingle plays. I'll click next level. New background, BGM resumes from where it paused. More enemy types appear. If a tower's HP reaches 0, it disappears completely. Watch the timer. It just turned red at 10 seconds remaining. This is when the tension peaks. If even one enemy slips past my towers and reaches the left edge, the defeat screen appears with a restart button. Click restart, the whole game reloads cleanly back to level 1. Let me skip ahead to the end of the level 3 to show the final piece, the game completion flow. When I clear level 3, the button text now says restart instead of next level. Clicking it cleanly restarts the entire game. To summarize week 6 and the entire project, this week I added a full audio system with carefully selected sound effects and Plants vs Zombies style BGM remake, a countdown timer with visual urgency, fixed a critical design flaw, differentiated all 13 character and enemy stats for balanced gameplay, and added a clean game completion flow. Combined with everything from the previous 5 weeks, the project is now feature complete and properly balanced. Thank you for watching my final progress report.